I used to go to the commission meetings to speak out about issues that like were important to me, and nobody cared. You'd get up there, you have 2 minutes, and in those 2 minutes you got to give your name, your address, and then tell them why you're there and why you think they should vote your way in 2 minutes. Like, I speak fast, but not that fast.
Right.
And so they just would be like, yeah, whatever, and vote however they wanted. And then I'd see the donations from whatever, thing that I was speaking out against. And that's it. It just infuriated me so much that I was like, you know what? I'm going to run.
Oh. You are listening to Pan Con Podcast for some reason none of us can understand.
I still don't get it.
We are here for all 22 of you with our guest, Martha Bueno.
My microphone is doing its own thing.
Excuse me?
My microphone is just doing its own thing.
You know why? It's because Nick set it up.
I'm going to go over there. I'm going to fix that.
I don't know if this is...
No. It's the knob.
It's this one, but I can't get it to stay.
It's... Nick, you have a limp microphone.
I wish this was the first time someone had told me.
This is
and it only took one scotch.
Yeah, look at that.
No, that was not a lot.
That was pretty fast.
That was
pretty fast.
All right. So now that we've gotten all the limp microphone issues out of the way, I am Nick Jiménez. I'm here with 8th grade basketball MVP, alleged chef, and owner of Coconut Grove's favorite Ford Bronco, Michael Beltrán.
What a prick.
We are joined by our guest for the evening, Martha Bueno. Martha, as I was saying earlier, was the first guest with whom I recorded on the Liberated podcast, a podcast that will exist in the future.
Man, I can't wait.
I'm sure you can't.
It will be the first and only podcast I listen to.
That's shocking. I would never have guessed that you would listen to it.
No, I've never listened to this podcast.
I believe it. Martha, and I said the last time I introduced you, I'll say it again. I'm sure I will totally mess up the chronology of all this stuff. I'm just going to throw things at the wall here. You have been the head of Hispanic outreach for the Jo Jorgensen presidential campaign with the Libertarian Party. You are a current member of the Kendall Community Council?
That's correct.
Current. I just wasn't sure if you had,
I'm the chair.
You're the chair of the Kendall Community Council.
Chair of the Kendall Community Council.
We have one of the most important people in Kendall here.
Wow.
Mike has feelings about Kendall.
I don't have feelings. I just feel some kind of way about Kendall.
Some kind of way.
Yeah, I do feel some kind of way.
You mean you love Kendall?
Woo!
I love Kendall.
We'll get into
Kendall.
No,
I mean, someone's got to love Kendall. Look at her.
I do love Kendall. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And we are, and you are now running for a seat on the Miami-Dade County Commission for District 10. I tried in vain to describe to Mike the boundaries of District 10. That may be something we can get into for the local crowd.
Westchester, Fontainebleau, and West Kendall. It's not that hard.
Westchester, Fontainebleau, and West Kendall.
Yeah, I know all those places.
I lived in all of those places.
Me too. Except for Kendall.
Except for Kendall.
No, so, I lived there for 4 months. I did.
The best 4 months of your life, I'm sure.
Yeesh. So I'll let great. You, Michael Beltrán, take it away from here. Do whatever it is that you want to do with this. Have fun.
Oh, man. Welcome.
Way to put it on the spot.
Thank you. Welcome. How's your cocktail?
It is amazing.
I want to ask because you're not a cocktail drinker.
I am a cocktail drinker. I'm not an alcohol drinker.
Okay.
I mean, when I have alcohol, I'll have a cocktail.
Okay, all right.
A very fruity drink.
Is it? What is that? I don't even know what that is.
Mr. Yellow?
Oh, Mr. Yellow, yeah. The apple one? It's like apple?
No, it's passion fruit.
Ah, super fruity. Can I ask you a very serious question?
Yes.
It fascinates me. Why politics?
Ooh, that is a good question. I don't even know. Why politics? Why not politics?
Yep.
That's why not.
I don't know. I feel like I have a lot of feelings about politics because it's a never-ending road of this rat race and this hamster wheel of just nothing gets accomplished, and it's always the same exact thing.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah, and I mean, there's there's some good ones. There's lots of bad ones. There's lots of ones that say that they're good and they're not. I don't know. I mean, I feel.
God, I hope I'm not in that category.
No, I mean, I hope you're not either. I usually feel like on the ground floor, like more on the community level, people aren't so much like that. Like they're not so as fake. As they reach another level of the community level, they get much more fake because they have higher dreams and aspirations or whatever. But it's like every interaction I have with politicians is so fucking just for a photo, for a thing, for this, for that. It's like there's very little substance, right? So that's why whenever I talk to like someone in politics, I'm like, why?
Why politics?
Why?
So I don't think that I am in politics to be in politics. I think that I've been a lifelong entrepreneur, and I see how things could be fixed. We could. Miami has a $9 billion budget. Imagine if we actually applied that money to yeah. So as an entrepreneur, somebody who ran a corporation, I look at most of the people who are in office and I'm like, have they ever done anything of this? You know what it's like. You run a major operation here.
Yeah.
You know what it's like. You need to have things in order and things done well. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And we don't have that. We don't have anybody on that dais that, the mayor, she's run some nonprofits and she's been effective at it. So maybe not her, but most of the other people on the dais, they're career politicians. I'm not. I don't consider myself a politician.
I think the term career politician is it's striking to me, right? Because they're a public servant for like 50 years, 40 years, 30 years, 20 years, like that. All they know is the political game.
Right.
They don't know like actual life.
Right.
For them, it's like this constant just game of
and
politics.
Money just rains on them. They don't know this.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know much about like what politicians make or how they make their money, and I don't care to know. To be honest, like just because a lot of tax dollars go there, so like I don't really want to know. You
don't want to know where your money. Do you not feel like you pay a lot in taxes?
No, I do, but at the same time, I feel like it would just infuriate me, and then it would get me to a place that I would just be very upset.
Welcome to where I am.
Yeah,
I got furious one day. I used to go to the commission meetings to speak out about issues that like were important to me, and nobody cared. You'd get up there, you have 2 minutes, and in those 2 minutes, you got to give your name, your address, and then tell them why you're there and why you think they should vote your way in 2 minutes. Like, I speak fast, but not that fast.
Right.
And so they just would be like, yeah, whatever, and vote however they wanted. And then I'd see the donations from whatever, thing that I was speaking out against. And that's it. It just infuriated me so much that I was like, you know what? I'm going to run.
It's just a fucking game.
It is.
It's a fucking game.
And I just had a conversation today with somebody very entrenched in Miami politics. And he's like, you're not going to win. Why are you not going to win? Because you're not playing the game. And that's infuriating.
How fucked is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, listen,
Yeah. But I haven't taken money from all of these people that give money to everybody. Precisely because I don't want to have to owe anything. And it's like, if you don't play that game, you're not going to win. If you don't play the game where you take money and you pay people for their votes and you pay la boletera and you pay this, you're not going to win because you know what? It's just impossible. And that's fine. It's fine if I'm not going to win. I'm here to give people an option. I'm here to try. And if I don't get in, it would suck tremendously.
Oh, and listen, the truth is that there's politics in everything in life.
Right.
Right? Like, you're just playing the actual politics game. Right? Like there's
I'm trying not to.
No, I get it, but that's
hard not to.
That's the rule, right? It's like, you're trying to run for a seat in a political thing, right? But everywhere else in life there's politics. So
sure.
There's people every day that don't get things they deserve because of politics. And I think it's fucked. It just it's exhausting.
It is exhausting. Today's one of those days where I feel exhausted.
Oh man, me too. Cheers to that. Cheers to being absolutely fucking exhausted.
Yeah, from just a shit day.
Last time we did a podcast down here was also a shit day for both people. Remember? John Falco? Oh, that's right. Yeah, and we got really tanked. All right, so
So now that we've depressed everybody.
Oh, no, it's not depressing at all. I'm intrigued to understand, like, how, especially on the community level, to get in the community level, what are the things running for the seat that you're running for that you want to see happen?
Ooh.
Yeah.
So to me, government is one of those things where I would like to see the smallest government possible. But if we have to have it, can it at least be efficient?
This episode of Pan Con Podcast is brought to you by The Barrel. This is the barbecue grill that, if you're watching this in video form, is in front of us. We're here with Chef Danny Boza. Danny, tell us a little bit about what the genesis of this thing was. Where does The Barrel come from?
You know, I was a chef. I was working for a civil engineering firm before that, and I really hated everything that I was doing at the time. So I've always had a passion for cooking. And then, I decided one day to move to New York, and everything took off from New York, Chicago, Hong Kong, LA, Colorado, and then to Hawaii, and then back to Miami. And then I opened up my own spot in Coral Gables, sold the restaurant, and moved on to the next bigger, better thing. Obviously, COVID hit, so we had our own passion project. It started because a friend, was now a business partner, Diego Londoño, approached me to do a menu for his coffee shop. And I said, let's go to Colombia. I got to see the tree. I got to, feel it out, get a little inspiration. So I went out there, and then, I tried some of the food when I got there, and I was blown away by the flavor. I found out they were actually cooking with the actual coffee tree. And then I saw their South American style roaster, and it was just really dinged up, beat up oil drum. Yeah. And I said, you know what? I can make something that's really cool. So myself and Diego put our heads together, and it's a home run in my opinion. It's very sleek, very beautiful to look at. It's very, very cool.
It's a conversation starter. People see that in your yard and they want to talk about it.
Yeah, definitely people see it. And again, we're not trying to take over anybody's yard. We're trying to make it a compliment to it. So what you would do on your regular grill for something very quick, you might want to say on a weekend I got more time and I want to chill out and, use the barrel and create some beautiful flavors out of that with our hardwood on charcoal.
Do you remember what some of the first things you did with it when you were maybe like prototyping it, or you had it close to final form?
Yeah, actually, I'll keep it short. So one of the main things is that our base was simply just the base. It was just a very plain base, and in order to stop all the fat that was dripping and rendering, I would use sand around the side. But of course, even some of the best chefs in the world make some of the greatest mistakes. So I would drop some of the food directly on the sand, and there's no getting sand off food once it hits it. So we had to think of a different system. So now we created these 2 half-moon systems at the base in which you can add liquid and have a grate on top, which pretty much sets this apart from any other, grill, roaster, smoker, which, the 3-in-1 combo is not really commonly found out there.
Very cool. So if people want to learn more, if people want to buy this thing, how do they get more information about the barrel?
I would say go to our Instagram page, at Barrel the BBQ. And, you can go and see our link tree there, which has our YouTube channel, our order page, our information, our specs about the barrel. And it has a bunch of fun videos and very cool things that we've cooked out of it so far.
Very cool. And once you're there, if you use promo code PANCON10, that's PANCON10, PANCON, because I know a lot of people have trouble with this. We don't speak Spanish. We've been called Pumpkin Podcast, the Panco Podcast. This is PANCON10 for $100 off of the barrel. Thanks, man.
Awesome. Thank you.
This episode of Pancon Podcast is also brought to you by Elite Impact Windows. Elite Impact Windows does exactly what it sounds like they do. They are purveyors of impact windows. That's the kind that, especially if you're in a hurricane-prone sort of area, you want so stuff doesn't come flying through your windows. Mike, you have impact windows on some of your restaurants.
Listen, I heard a rumor. Tell me if this is true. Are all their products tested to go up to 185 mile per hour wind pressures?
That is how their products are tested. That's all their products are tested to meet that. I don't know. I've never been out in 185 mile an hour wind. But if I were, I think I might want to wear some of these windows as like a suit.
I feel safer already just thinking about if I was walking around in that kind of wind and I was wrapped around with their just windows just wrapped around me, I'd feel like a much safer person.
Yeah, you should put them on your caddy.
Maybe not. But I also heard that they meet all the requirements of Miami-Dade County.
They do meet all the requirements of Miami-Dade County.
Fuck me, that's amazing.
EliteImpactGlass.com or on Facebook, Elite Impact Windows, Instagram, Elite Impact Glass. They are proud partners with Eco Windows, CGI, and Windoor.
One of the things I really appreciate about them and their company is that all their products are made locally here in South Florida, and fuck me, that's amazing.
Look at this. They are all made here in South Florida.
Did you do your research?
Man, I did not do the research.
Somebody didn't show up ready.
They have competitive pricing with totally 0% financing available. I mean, I don't know if you have credit like mine, you might not get 0% financing, but it may be an option. It's possible that that's an option for you. 0% financing. I don't know exactly how that works. Whatever the case, if you go on the website, you ask for a quote, and you mention Bang Gong Podcast, you will get 10% off of your installation.
And I don't know if you guys have ever installed Windows before, but 10% off of window installation, that's a good fucking deal. And you know what? You got it here first on Pancom Podcast.
That's right. Mention Pancom Podcast. Again, it's EliteImpactGlass.com or Elite Impact Windows on Facebook, Elite Impact Glass on Instagram. By the way, you mentioned restaurants. They do commercial properties. So whether it's for your home or your business, if you need Elite Impact Glass to put, all that and do the things that they do so well, you wanna get in on that.
Also, this company, very woke. Very woke. They also offer solar power systems with backup batteries and custom generators for your home. You know why? Because they're woke.
I don't know if that's a positive thing these days to be woke, but but it's nice. I mean,
sounds good.
It sounds good to me that there's solar power involved.
I'm into it.
Generators, solar power, impact glass. If you go to their website, they got a video that shows off like a home that has all of that stuff going on at one time, which is pretty wild. That's pretty wild. A lot of panels, a lot of glass, a lot of things. Pretty soon, we are going to get our hands on at least one pane of impact glass.
I'm ready.
And we're going to try to break it.
I'm ready.
I don't know what the procedure will be, but Mike's breath will have a blast of freshness from that Banaka you just heard. I like this for the podcast. You can really
Banaka blast at last. Fast blast Banaka.
I just want everybody to know, and apologies to Elite Impact Glass, because this I don't want this to sound like an ad for Banaka, but in the time that we've been sitting here to record this ad, Mike has blasted himself with Banaka like 5 times.
Twice.
Get excited. I don't know, man.
Twice.
I don't know.
Come on. Twice.
Elite Impact Glass. Thanks to our sponsor.
Thanks.
Go get your windows from
Go get those windows.
Right. I mean, can we at least get the services that we've paid for? And with that, I mean, it's just simple things. Our transportation, I don't think it's been updated in like 30 years. Like, we haven't done an actual study or, like logistics, right? I ran a company where we ship thousands of packages. Thousands of packages every single day. And so we had to run a tight ship on logistics. Why aren't we doing that with our buses? I look at our buses and there's like 2 people on it at all times. And we have this half a penny sales tax that's collected $3 billion plus thus far, and we haven't spent it on actually improving. So if you come to Miami and you're a foreigner and you want to, ride our transportation, we don't have transportation. If you're from Miami, you can't get around on our system. So if we're going to pay for it, can we at least have it working? And one of the things that kind of annoys me, the job that I'm running for is $6,000 a year. That's $500 a month for a full-time job.
Wait, hold on.
Commissioners get paid $6,000 a year.
$6,000 a year.
But wait, there's more.
Okay. Oh, I love this.
Oh, yeah. No, it's great. This really upset me when I found out. So then they have like $1,000 for a car.
Okay.
And then they have like
a year?
No. Every month.
Okay.
So their car, of course, is more than their salary. And then they have, I think it's about $30,000 for spending. And then somewhere.
A year?
Yeah, a year.
Okay.
For just random spending. And then somewhere in that budget, we have a $19 million budget for the 13 commissioners. So if you take out $6,000 per commissioner, plus $1,000 per car, plus $30,000, there's still $18 million left. Where does that money go? Turns out that it goes to them having offices in their district. So it works out to about $1 million per commissioner for their office in their district. Now, I've run an office, and we had 30-something thousand square feet, or warehouse. We didn't spend anywhere near $1 million, including our personnel. So where's this money going? And so this is money that you and I and every other taxpayer are paying for. So if we're going to have, again, I keep going back to, I really would want to have the smallest government possible, but if we're going to have this, and we have a $9 billion budget plus, why can't we at least have the services we're paying for instead of, having this massive waste? And one of the things that I'd like to propose is that our commissioners, instead of that $1,000 on a car, live like the rest of the people, and maybe we give them a bus pass. Because if they're going to, be responsible for our transit, but they aren't forced to take it, are they ever going to improve it?
Oh man, no one's. I mean, I'm with you. I get it, but no one's ever gonna.
They're not going to vote for that, of course. They're not going to vote to give themselves, instead of a $1,000 car allowance a month, they're not going to vote to get a Metro Pass or whatever. But that's the point. The point is, at least I'm standing up and saying, you know what, this is messed up.
How long have we been talking about the Metro was going to change?
Forever.
Forever.
That's exactly the problem.
Forever.
So should I just stand here and be like, you know what, it's messed up and we're just going to leave it at that way? Or should we actually find people that can actually improve it without spending billions upon billions of dollars? And the greatest thing I was telling Nick earlier, or on our podcast,
The Liberated podcast. You could find it on dademag. .com, right? Oh, it's would you have a .com? That's great.
It's a .com, yeah.
dademag.com. You could find The Liberated podcast by Nicholas Jiménez. Man, I cannot wait. This is going to be invigorated listening.
dademag.pd/liberated.
It's going to be so good. I say that because
totally forgot what I was going to say, by the way.
I'm sorry.
Do
I'm
not
good.
give me alcohol.
I'm good.
again.
I'm good at that.
You're far from the first person to forget what's going on in this podcast in the middle of it.
I'm just, Nick has this like very, how many times I hear in my daily life like, wow, that Nick, he's something, isn't he? What do you mean? He's just like, he's just a very interesting guy. And I'm like, he's cool. And he's like, yeah, but he's got a lot to say. I'm like, well, now he's got this whole platform to say it, and I can't wait. I'm just going to lead people straight to your podcast now.
I'm sure, yeah.
This is going to be.
Why are we bothering doing this? We should just,
Yeah. Let me tell you. So before we did that podcast, I feel like now we're steamrolling Mike's podcast.
Perfect.
Perfect. But when we had met that day that we did that podcast, and I think the question that I asked you was like, what flavor of libertarianism is it that you prefer?
yeah.
And the minute that you said, did you tell me that you were like an anarcho-capitalist?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, this is great. This is the perfect way to start this whole thing. So
I am an anarcho-capitalist.
Yeah.
I really don't like government at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
Best government is the smallest government possible.
I know, but you need some.
You need governance. I think there's a difference between governance and government.
I mean, there needs to be some kind of rules.
Sure. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have rules. There's, don't hurt people and don't take their stuff.
And that's it.
No. I mean, I think that we should have private courts. I think that, but again, this is like Ancapistan, right? This is like the ideal country. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's going to be a reality. And that's something that we also discussed. It's like you can't live in this fantasy world. In the fantasy world, we have a very limited government and you don't need it at all and everybody just gets along, or, if you don't like your neighbor, you just leave them alone. I don't think that works in reality all the time, especially not in a country like ours.
Well, because people don't leave people alone.
Right.
I mean, people just,
Especially politicians. They love to tell you how to live your life. And funny enough, they don't actually do that themselves.
No.
And I think we discovered that over COVID, especially.
Yeah, I mean.
Wear your mask, but not me.
I mean, we discovered a lot of things during COVID. And me personally, I paid attention very little to what politicians did in their day-to-day. I was more about the government did help business during COVID.
Did it? Because from my point of view, they kind of hurt a whole bunch of people in Miami.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I mean,
small mom and pops, Walmart, Target, all of them got to stay open, but every small mom and pop, they really got hurt.
Yeah, but also the government said, if you know how to apply for this thing, you can get all kinds of help for all kinds of things.
There's freebies, of course.
I mean,
I don't think that's really helping a business.
I don't really see that as a freebie, though. How do you see it as a freebie if you pay taxes for the last 10, 15, 20, 30 years?
Because not everybody that was getting those things were paying those taxes. A lot of people got freebies.
I mean,
I'm all in favor of it. If you applied and got it, good for you, because at least you're getting that money back.
I can only speak from someone that lived that life.
Right.
And if it wasn't for the aid that we received during COVID, and of course there was stipulations throughout all of that, there were rules throughout all of that, which we followed. If it wasn't for that, this restaurant wouldn't be here today.
Right. And I'm glad that they were giving that to you. On the other side is, what if they wouldn't have shut you down? What if they wouldn't have shut everybody down? What if they're, we now, like, hindsight is 2020, right? And we now know that people who...
Thank you.
Oh, nice. Like, oh, I'm so jealous. But I don't drink, so...
I mean, you still have half a drink. That's
I know,
why I didn't order 2 more.
No.
No. Right.
No. We should not do that. I'm just saying, like, would you have preferred to have people still come here and have a restaurant and have employees being able to work?
I mean,
rather than ask for this.
Of course, but I also would have preferred for whatever happened to not have happened.
Right, and that's my point. We were forced to stay home because, we at the beginning nobody knew for sure, and let's just cut everybody some slack and say nobody knew, but at some point we kind of figured out that this isn't exactly though. It's been 2 years.
I know, but we're also living in the freest state in the country.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, there's a lot of states that are.
But Miami-Dade and Broward closed, where the rest of Florida stayed open.
And that is true, but we closed for 5 months. There's people that were closed for 16 months.
So are we going to argue that closing for 5 months was good, or
I mean, I'm
going to go here.
I'm going to say that closing for 5 months is better than 16.
Sure, of course.
I mean, it's just it's.
But imagine closing for no months, because at the end of the day,
But if you close for no months, how at the end of that, we didn't know what was happening. So
right,
how do you do that?
So why would government force this closure though? Like. I think that there's levels of risk. Maybe you and I are less risk adverse, right? Maybe you and I are like, oh, we're young, we're healthy,
sure.
Whatever. We're going to still go out and still do these things. Or maybe we're going to take care of ourselves. Maybe, our elderly or people who have comorbidities, we're going to leave them at home because they really, everybody should have their level of risk tolerance. And I don't think this one size fits all really worked for everybody. We still have kids in masks. And I don't think that's the appropriate thing, and yet we can't stop.
And I don't have any kids, so I really can't speak on that.
I have 4.
Yeah, I just can't. I mean, bless you. That is a lot of children.
It is.
Oof, man, that is a tribe.
Yep.
That is a tribe.
4 kids, 3 dogs, 4 cats, and like 25 chickens.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Basically.
Yeah, that's the whole. We got the whole thing. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. In no point could I have said better than anyone else, like, this is what we should do, right?
Right.
I also think that in that whole thing, it wasn't just elderly or people that didn't take care of themselves that suffered from what we all went through.
Absolutely. And, it's a horrible thing. And I think a lot of people lost their lives. And I think the whole thing is horrible. Mm-hmm. But we have to look at the other side, the unseen people. So, suicides were a big problem before COVID. What are they now? They've gone up 900% roughly.
Oh, I'm well aware. I lost 2 employees during COVID.
Oh, wow.
2.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah. I mean, and it was not easy to deal with.
No.
I mean, and I've said this several times on this podcast, is like the thing that we will feel longest after COVID. Obviously, we're dealing with something that will become something else long term, but the mental impact that it had on people is going to be the biggest thing that we deal with for the next 20 or 30 years.
Absolutely. Children. There's studies that show that kids have lost a average of 20 IQ points. There are young kids that, will draw pictures now, and it's a head with eyes and nothing underneath. The development of children has been impacted.
Well, I mean, I think to that point, I have 2 nieces, beautiful nieces, and like one of them lost a year of school, and it definitely impacted her in her growth. And I mean, now she's back on track, and but you felt that, and you saw that, and it's something that, again, we will feel for the next 20 years, right? And I think that for people our age, it will impact us in a different way for the next 20 years, an element of fear that none of us ever lived with before, because we thought that something.
Government.
I don't agree with that.
You don't agree with that? Are you watching what's going on in, I don't know, Australia, Canada?
I mean, honestly, no.
No?
I'm not. I don't, because like the only thing I could worry about is my four walls, and I take care of the people that work for me. And outside of that, like, listen, Canada is a whole thing, right? Because Castro's son runs that country that no one talks about, right? I mean, Trudeau is definitely Castro's son. Can we all agree?
He looks like his father when you compare him to Pierre Trudeau, and then he looks like Castro too. It's
like
one
identical.
of those things where
he looks identical to Castro at the
does.
same age. It's crazy.
He does.
And the
but he
things
also
that he
looks like
doesn't
Pierre Trudeau.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
You got to compare them. Like, so I also was on this bandwagon. I'm like, oh my God, he's so Fidel's son. And then, you see him with this. Listen, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. He's a socialist. One of the two.
I mean, he's definitely a socialist. I agree. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Speaking now, the Liberated Podcast.
Yeah,
with
right.
Nicholas Jiménez.
Welcome to Pan con Conspiracies.
Y falta pan. Go ahead.
Y se acabó el pan. Yeah, I don't know how sold I am that he's his son, but at the end of the day, he's enough of a socialist that it barely matters. He might as well be.
Yeah, I mean, he says
he's at least his godson or something, right? I mean, they're
I
at least
don't know.
somehow related.
You know, like everyone says that his mom was, she liked to party.
Like she was in Cuba like 9 months
All
before
the
he was
time,
born.
all the time.
No, she wasn't in Cuba.
She
9
was.
months
I mean,
that's-
before.
She was. I've read all the conspiracy theories. She was.
Where's
there.
Where's Pastelito Papi when you need it? But Gio Fesser, the Pastelito Papi, is the conspiracy king around here.
We should do that. Pastelito with conspiracy.
Matter if he's his Fidel's son or not. He's just
Yeah.
a very authoritarian leader.
Super off track here, but and I love it. He is
By the way,
he is authoritarian with trying to be like the sweetest guy with that looks like kind of like Zach Morris-ish from Saved by the Bell. Yeah.
No, he does not.
Yeah, with the hair and the thing.
No, I had a huge crush on Zach Morris. He does not look like him.
No?
Sorry,
Don't
no.
talk about
Everyone
looks like
thinks that
Fidel.
Zach Morris has also died, but he hasn't. He's
No,
alive.
He's very much alive.
I know, and
The
everyone
one who died was
In all our hearts.
what's
Yeah.
his name? Dustin Diamond.
Screech.
Screech.
Yeah.
Yeah. God,
Really?
what a
Are
good.
we really this old? That
Yeah,
we're like,
we are. Absolutely
wow.
reminiscing about Saved by the Bell.
I love that show.
I was
Minnesota
so
at the
mad.
time.
I got to tell you, I was so like viscerally upset during the Super Bowl that I saw a commercial for a rehash on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, why? Why do we keep doing this?
Oh, but now it's like a really dramatic thing, though.
Right? It's like really dramatic and it's dark, and they're doing the whole stomp thing too. You know, like it's like
I
fucking.
don't watch the Super Bowl, so I missed this.
You don't.
Sounds great.
Why not? Why didn't you watch Super Bowl?
'Cause I don't like sports. I know. Should I just get up and leave now?
No, but I mean, it's like an event. You know, the halftime show was fun.
Yeah, I
the
watched
fact
a
that it was
halftime show on
on
my
YouTube.
device, yeah.
Other than the
You
fact
know?
that
So
it
you
was
didn't go to like a Super Bowl party and
I
just
was in
not give a shit
Colorado.
until
No.
Okay, all right.
I mean, we
What happens in Colorado? What's the politics in Colorado? I just want to know.
I don't
Are they
know.
Trudeau's or are they more DeSantis like?
I don't know. You know what? I only went for a weekend retreat,
Oh yeah, a retreat, huh?
a leadership retreat, yeah,
Ooh.
with our friend Mei-Ling.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Will she be on the Liberated podcast?
She
She
might be.
would.
I've never actually met her in person.
So how are you friends with this person?
This is from my very online Cuba days.
Deep.
I had never met her in person either until I went to
That's
this
right.
Who
leadership
is
retreat.
this mysterious person?
Oh,
This
she's
is a
lovely.
mysterious person.
Wonderful, yeah. Wonderful human being.
Does
You know
she
what? I've
ask
met
you
some
red
really
pill or blue
amazing
pill?
people.
No?
Huh?
Does she ask you red pill or blue pill? Because she's like very mysterious, right?
Very mysterious.
God, no one's ever seen her.
She's like Colorado Morpheus.
Until you meet her in Colorado. Meet me in Colorado. I'll see you next weekend.
I'll show you how. I'll show you how
Jesus
deep
Christ.
the bunny slope goes.
I don't even know how did we
We
get
did
here.
not go.
We're-
We did not go skiing.
well.
No, you trust me. You don't want me on skis. No.
I've never been on skis.
Oh, I have, and I've no longer the bruises, but I had the bruises to prove it. It was not fun.
Yeah, I've never been on skis.
You know, I'm from Miami. Snow's not my thing.
Right. I've actually never been camping either.
Neither have I, and I don't think I ever will.
I'm gonna
No?
go camping this weekend for a night.
Camping's a good time.
One night.
I know.
I camped in. I mean,
Do I look like somebody that would be comfortable?
I mean, I don't know.
I would
who
maybe
knows?
maybe glamping. Maybe
It's technically was glamping not camping?
no. Glamping has like bathroom facilities.
Oh, I'm going glamping then.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Well, but bathroom facilities, like, are they communal
I'm not sure. This was an Airbnb.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's not good.
You're not camping. There is no camping in whatever it is you're doing.
Tent?
There's a tent there. Yeah, I'm in a tent.
But do you have another option of where to sleep?
No, just a tent.
All right, so you're.
But like a tent that you pitch yourself, or like
No, I'm not pitching a tent.
Oh.
This does not sound like a camping situation.
Why not?
Just because it's a tent doesn't mean it's camping.
I don't know, man.
This is
Are
gonna
there
be
rules
so,
here? Are you the camping government too?
No, I'm just saying that I won't camp. So I am telling you, if I have to pitch a tent, I am. No.
Man, this is going to be so useful to your campaign.
Oh man, I can't wait till you pitch this on whatever platform. So you'd be like, listen,
Here's
we're running for a seat.
Listen
You have to listen to this
podcast.
What were we talking about before this? Oh yeah,
COVID.
COVID.
And COVID and
What if it had been 0
Can we
months
say
and
that
not
word
5?
though, or will we
COVID
be canceled?
This isn't Voldemort. I mean, you could say whatever you want.
Will we be canceled?
Yeah, I mean, you could say. I mean, it is. You could say whatever you want.
Yeah, I don't know.
Deplatformed. You know?
We've worked hard to get ourselves canceled around here.
Absolutely. Have we not been canceled yet? Joe Rogan got canceled. My hope is that they cancel the fuck out of him and they give us his contract on Spotify.
All that Spotify money?
That is my fucking goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that we're super there.
We're super there.
In Joe Rogan's defense.
Well, you're going to be in Joe Rogan's defense?
Oh, I'm a super Joe Rogan defender.
I mean, me too. I like Joe Rogan. I just want to know what the defense is.
Just that I don't want him canceled.
Oh, no. Well, what did he do again to be canceled?
Oh, he talked about things that people weren't supposed to be talking about.
Nichols say it. What did he say?
So he had on some guests who had out of the mainstream views or opinions or ideas about COVID and vaccines.
Uh-huh.
But they were like in the mix also with other guests who had very in the mainstream views on vaccines. And then, so that was like the first attempt. And then Neil Young threatened to like leave Spotify.
Oh, is this why everyone's leaving Spotify?
Yeah, over Joe Rogan. Like, I won't be on there if Joe Rogan's on there, which is insane for its own set of reasons.
Prince Harry and Meghan were like,
right. I didn't even know they had a podcast.
Think about it.
Apparently, Harry and Meghan have a podcast that they wanted to pull from.
They
Spotify.
did one. They did one show.
It's only one episode.
Apparently,
I
have not heard it, but apparently it's
Meghan
one.
Markle.
Oh, is it Meghan Markle or is it?
Didn't she? That was her.
I don't know.
That's her original name.
No, it's the other one.
not.
It's the other one. I don't know. No.
I'm lost.
There's
Yeah.
some royalty.
But tell me why. Tell me why he got
lost.
canceled. I need to know.
And then the latest thing
Uh-huh.
is over a racial epithet.
Ooh.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
basically, a compilation.
Video.
Right. And so for some context, this is a thing that I've grappled with myself. If we were on the Liberated podcast, I would have no qualms about saying it, but Mike is here. I have no problem referring to this N-word.
Oh no, we don't say that
Oh,
on here.
I don't say that word.
No, we don't.
No,
say
I mean,
that.
listen. This is the, and I'm only saying this because this is the heart of the Rogan thing that we were just talking about. The issue here is whether you're referring to it or using it. So there was a compilation video that came out of him referring to the word a number of times. As far as I can tell, he's never actually used it on the record in the sense of like actually using it himself for his own meaning. So in one context, it was a discussion of the word itself, and he names a Richard Pryor album.
Oh, right.
It's the name of the album. It's on the album cover. Like, I'm reminded of Louis C.K. had a great bit about which. Right. I mean, I'm also a Louis C.K. quasi defender here.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm totally a Louis C.K. defender.
Yeah, it's
I'll
like
be a female that defends him.
I mean, he's a little weird, but he asked, and he was very polite.
He did ask.
He was
And
very
you know
polite
what? You
about
can
the whole
always
thing.
leave.
What? Tell the people what he asked.
He asked if he may do things to himself in ladies' presence.
And like every
Why are we being so? What's going on here? Just say what did he ask?
I'm running for office. I'm not going to say this.
He asked somebody supposedly on the set where they were shooting if he could masturbate in front of her.
Okay.
And
she didn't leave.
Well,
okay.
But then there was another story where he asked, and she said, "No, I don't want to do that." And he was like, "Oh, okay, I'm so sorry I asked." But like the fact that he was like asking.
Right.
So anyway.
But I mean, to ask, you don't just like ask out of the blue. You're probably like vibing, you're talking, you're having a moment, and then he's like, I'm just gonna do this thing. Would you care to watch?
But you know what? Even if you're not vibing, even if it's not a natural moment for it, you're still asking. Like the worst you could accuse him of is like weird timing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave, and then you can go ahead. And
maybe skipping a few steps, but like it was always in the asking context. Anyway, he has this whole bit where he talks about how much he hates the N-word. Not the word, but and the way he puts it is when some blonde lady on CNN says the N-word, and he's like, because you're putting the word in my head. Take responsibility for the shitty word you want to say.
Right. And
there's an element of truth to that, I think, right? Like there's, I'm also reminded of John McWhorter. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
No.
So John McWhorter has a series of discussions that he does with Glenn Loury. John McWhorter is a Columbia University linguist, and Glenn Loury is a Brown University economist. And they do a series of conversations on Blogging Heads TV. They refer to themselves as the black guys on Blogging Heads. Neither of them makes a living talking about race, but they kind of get together and usually talk about race in this conversation series. And John McWhorter, who's like whole bread and butter, is he's written a ton on Creole and Patois and Black American Black English, and he's talked extensively about how like it just doesn't make any sense that like it wasn't that long ago that we were able to make this distinction between a reference to the word and a use of the word.
And as I've said and written often, I think it's absurd that we've gotten to the point that we're treating it as a taboo sequence of sounds, as if, we were, worshiping some sun god or something. And it should have no effect on his career. Maybe he wouldn't choose to do those things now, but frankly, when he was doing it then, it wasn't hurting anybody. And this business of not attending to the difference between using it and referring to it is childish. And once again, we don't need it. I don't see why it's necessary, although there's a certain kind of black person now who claims to be deeply injured whenever that sequence of sounds is uttered for any reason. I think it's a pose.
And I'm not going to hide behind that's the way. That is also my position.
I go back to like a certain instance when I was in college. I got jumped by 4 white guys when I was in college, right? And the only thing I remember, because I got my fucking ass kicked, was being called a spick repetitively, right? And it stuck with me forever, right? Like that experience stuck with me for a long time. But I also lived in a place that was, when the Confederacy was falling, it was the last capital of the Confederacy, right? And they still hold on to that. I mean, I don't know, I haven't been back in a long time, but they held on to that day when I left. They had a museum for it. They had the whole thing. There was lots of that. Like I said, the KKK was still present. I think that we here are a little sheltered, right? Because we're in this like multicultural thing. And albeit like I think everyone at this table is pretty educated, like when you live in other parts of the country, and you did live in another part of the country, you experience different things and you see different things that I was super sheltered, right? Because like the only thing I knew was like pastelitos, croquetas, and coffee pretty much my whole life. And then I went to and it wasn't even like super middle America, but like middle America, and I learned a lot.
So where did you go?
Danville, Virginia.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Danville, Virginia, and it was an experience, and it's something that I think the life experience is what I learned the most there, because I definitely didn't go to class ever. So the what I learned about life there was the most important thing, and through all of that, all those life experiences and those things, and I learned like race, history, and like what we all carry as cultures is very different, and we all carry it differently too.
Of course. Right?
Like the way that Cuban Americans live culture is very different than African Americans and Mexican Americans. I mean, Mexican Americans, their whole culture gets bastardized every single day through food, and no one ever talks about that, right? Because we all love it. So we all love guacamole, but the Mexicans don't. It's like stuff like that, and they
what do you mean the Mexicans don't?
They don't. I mean, you ever seen a Mexican put guacamole on a taco?
Not on a taco, but I mean,
guacamole comes from somewhere.
I understand that, but it's the extent that people take, right, food culture and how they bastardize it their own way is offensive in a lot of ways.
Isn't that a little bit like it's actually un orgullo? It's like good. No. I like when people take my culture and make it their own. Like,
no, I don't.
When I see people like, hey, I made this Cuban dish and it's not really the same way, but they tried. I'm like, wow, that's impressive.
Oh man,
Thank
we're going into
trying.
Sweet Havana already.
No,
I'm
you
just
know,
saying
different place. Sweet Havana isn't that a coffee shop here? You're thinking Cafe Havana.
Oh, my bad. My
Cafe.
Yeah,
bad.
let's
Sweet
not
Havana, I'm
dis-
sorry.
Oh, no,
That's
that
right.
was-
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
is
my bad,
completely different.
my bad, my
that's
bad.
a cafe where people want to, commemorize or memorialize Che and Fidel, and
But that happens to a lot of people too, not just us.
But the food, I'm talking about,
The food in and of itself.
the food in and of itself.
Because the issue with that restaurant is not the food.
When I see white women wearing big hoops, I'm like, good for you. Why is this a bad thing?
Yeah.
I've been to Asia and I'm like, wow, I want to do that. I want to look like that. I want to emulate that. Why is this a bad thing? Why is trying to on somebody else's, maybe not their identity, but the things that make them unique? Why is that such a bad thing? Why don't we want that? Don't we want people experiencing different things? That's why we travel.
I'd also like them to know what the real thing is.
Sure.
And I don't think that happens ever.
But isn't that how you start? So people fall in I hear it all the time. People are like, oh my God, Cuba's so wonderful that people are so happy. And then you're like, yes. And did you know that we've spent 63 years in a brutal dictatorship where people are dying? And basically everybody on the island is, they're slaves to their government and they can't get off the island. So it has to start somewhere. People have to care about you in order to then feel and empathize with you.
Sure.
So I think it starts in your culture. People like to travel. This is the most insane thing to me, that we're like, oh, you can't take on somebody else's culture. You can't enjoy somebody else's culture, but then travel. Go experience it. It's almost like we're speaking out of both sides of our mouth here.
I don't know. I think that enjoying and bastardizing is different.
What's bastardizing, though?
Yeah, the idea what does it mean to bastardize something? I mean,
I always go to Mexican food the most, right? Because
Sure.
Mexican American food and where they,
Tex-Mex.
but that's its own thing. I mean,
It is.
but Tex-Mex is its own thing, but you can't claim that's Mexican food.
No.
Well, no, but
It's
But
also
I
like the
lettuce
same thing.
and
It's the
tomatoes
same
on my
thing.
tacos, okay? And that's
It's
totally
the same thing as
Tex-Mex.
Italian food. There's a lot of layers to Italian food, and
Sure.
what's happened here with Italian food? People think Italian food is a certain thing, and it's not a certain thing.
but at the end of the day, so what?
Yeah.
No, I mean I care.
It's like the Disney
I
But
care.
food, right?
The question is though, why is it offensive?
Right.
No, but I didn't. I'm not
You
totally.
specifically said it was offensive.
I don't know. I think
You're saying
when-
bastardizing and
when I go to Mexican food, I do think some of the things that people do is offensive because they make this big show of a thing, and it's this big exaggerated thing, and really their food is super humble, delicious. There's a lot of layers to it, but the humble approach to it, and it's ancient. The
How
way
many
that they're-
people know where the Caesar salad came from? Do you think of that when you think Mexican food? No, you think of American food, right?
Well, it's because it was a Mexican guy.
No, it originated in a place in Tijuana.
Yeah, I mean, it was a Mexican guy who came up with the Caesar salad.
Right.
Right. Nobody
In
knows that,
Tijuana.
right? Yeah.
I'm just saying, you know what? At every American restaurant you go to, there's a Caesar salad on the menu, right? I mean, it's why is this a bad thing? I would love it if I could go to a restaurant in the middle of America and have rice and beans. Why not? Because I miss that when I travel.
Yeah.
I miss my platanito and, I don't even eat that when I'm here. But all of a sudden I travel and I'm the most Latin person in the world.
Well, I mean, I think you learn to really appreciate your culture when you're not here.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, 4 years away from here really was I'm so happy to be Cuban. I'm so very happy.
You know what's crazy is I have family that is Cuban, are Cuban, that are able to come to Miami. And when they do come to Miami, it's oh my God, I miss the food here. And it's oh, our food, Cuban food is preserved here in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Cubans, she had never even tried ropa vieja.
Right.
They don't have these things that we consider Cuban. Actually, it's a Miami thing now.
Right. Well, I think the best Cuban food in the world is in Miami.
Probably because we're the place that's preserving it. They
Well,
don't have Cuban food in Cuba anymore.
We also have food to serve.
We do.
Yeah.
Which is something Cubans don't have.
That's correct. We will agree on that.
This is a very sad podcast.
I'm shocked it took a full 49 minutes to get, with 3 Cubans in the room, to get to they don't have Cuban food in Cuba.
I mean, we got to get on the food topic.
On this podcast.
We got to get on the food topic. Well, talking about food topic, you from Kendall, from the land of Kendall, where do you like to eat in Kendall?
Candalians.
Kendillians. That's what I call them.
Oh boy, that's putting me on the spot.
No, because I want to know a little bit about food.
I have 4 kids. My food choices when I'm with them is very much the same.
I can only imagine.
Same.
Yeah. What about you? Like you're out, like I'm just gonna have a nice time in Kendall. Where am I going to eat?
Chef Adrian's.
Ooh, Chef Adrian. Okay.
Is that like? Am I gonna get
don't
banned
know.
from coming?
I don't know.
every-
This is a Michael Beltrán question here.
No, I mean I didn't. Say
Where would
anything.
you go eat in Kendall? That's the better question because I'm not even. I have no criteria for this.
Man, like-
Over at Between Two Buns.
oh no, Tamiami Subs. I would go to Tamiami Subs
Where's Tamiami Subs?
by Tamiami Airport.
Really, a sub? You'd go have a sub? Like I'm expecting something like fantabulous.
No, I'm a super simple eater. So I mean, Tamiami Subs, they do a really nice honey mustard chicken sub.
Oh, yeah?
It's delicious.
Now
Solid.
you know.
I live right around there, and I had no idea about Tamiami
I
subs.
gave by
Yeah, no,
This
it's
is news to me.
super solid. Super
do not
solid.
live anywhere near the Tamiami Airport.
What are
He
you
does.
talking about?
Absolutely, it's not even. it's
Tamiami
like a
Airport is
5-minute drive.
is 120th and 130 something, and I'm at 117.
True.
Yeah, I'm right there.
Yes, yes,
Right
yes.
there.
I think
Come
of
on.
like. Yes, you're right.
Come on, I even knew that, and I'm from Little Havana. Jeez, I'm from Little Havana. All right, so what are we gonna like throw up next? What are we gonna blow up next? I'm super
I
ready.
mean-
I mean,
So-
we've touched all the touchy subjects.
Yeah.
Has it been touchy?
I mean,
We went to the N word.
yes, we did.
Yeah.
We did. Like, I think it needs to be a little more. We've had a rough day. Tell me about your rough day.
Oh man, my rough day.
Oh, I like this table turning on this
I know.
podcast right now.
It's-
This is good.
Bum bum bum.
Welcome to Pan Con Podcast with Martha Bueno.
No, I mean,
And I still have a drink.
I know you have.
It was all part of her plan.
Yeah.
She's letting us get 2 and 3 drinks in.
We're building 4 properties and we run 5. So, building is exhausting. Permitting is exhausting
is it?
it has to go through the government. So,
My
that's-
favorite subject.
Oh, the government? Yeah, no, permitting.
Or how it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, I mean, permitting is a very interesting world.
It is.
a
How do you
very-
feel about permitting?
I mean, we do okay.
Does it serve a purpose
Permits? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it does.
to the degree that we have it, or would you
Well,
like
I
to
mean,
see it a little less?
I think that there's certain layers that you need to be held accountable and be responsible, but like at the same time, it's always like a case by case basis, which is where it gets a little foggy. Permits, like you have rules you have to follow. There needs to be X amount of space between X amount of equipment and so on and so forth, and this, that, and the next. You follow those rules, that's what it is. Stuff like liquor, since it's so controlled here, I mean, if I follow the rule, other people got to follow the rule. That's how it should be.
Would you prefer to see everyone be able to serve liquor if they have a restaurant, for example? Like, does it help you in any way that we are so controlled on who can have a liquor license and how expensive they are?
Well, I mean, I can't, like, the fact that I own several of them now, like, I can't say that I want it to go any other way because I own them and it's an asset.
Right.
As a business owner, it's an asset for me. So like,
you wouldn't want it to go any other way because now you would lose.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, because I've
Like the taxi medallions. With
I
like
mean-
Uber and Lyft and all of that stuff. Like that was the same situation.
I mean, the taxi medallions, that whole world is completely changed. I can't even imagine like what those people feel like.
How many of your customers though can come here in an Uber now and actually drink and enjoy and then Uber home safely versus I gotta drive. I'm 6 drinks in.
No,
but
I
I'm
mean,
gonna drive.
I'm not disagreeing with that at all. I mean, I'm also involved in like a parking company too, which we do valet. So Uber isn't great to us either.
Right.
But the truth is, like, it's needed, right? Like, it's needed. There's been plenty of days that I've drank too much and I have
How
to
many
Uber
people's
home.
lives have been saved because now you can Uber home? Like, remember before we had Uber where you really didn't have a whole lot of solutions? There was like, call this emergency line and some guy that you've never met will come pick you up. I mean, the problem is government did get involved. And so now we have this, like, it would be unfair to you if we removed the liquor license things. But then how many other businesses that are coming up, will never have the opportunity to have a liquor license, or why not?
I mean, they can.
Sure. They come
sure.
up with the cash.
I mean, it's not totally how it works. I mean, you don't pay 180 grand off rip.
How does it work?
I mean, you lease them just like you lease anything else. I mean, that's how liquor licenses work. I mean, if they're available, then you can lease them. You put a down payment, you pay it off.
Would you like to just maybe own, like, not need it? Who is it protecting? I like, this is a serious question. Who is it protecting to have this liquor license? Because alcohol is legal. Like, I can go to the store down the street or whatever and pick up a bottle and then come here.
Well, you actually buy it for cheaper than what I buy it for.
Really?
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know about you personally, but I know that the liquor store buys it for a cheaper rate than what I buy it for.
That makes no sense.
I mean, it does and it doesn't. I mean, I make more money on it than they do.
Sure, you're selling it by the glass.
That's correct.
They're selling it by the bottle.
Correct. But they also it's an easier trade because you're just taking it off a rack and you're paying for it. For us, we have to execute something. There's labor behind it, so you can execute that thing, which is an added
Which, by the way,
layer.
this is a fantastic drink.
I know, but it's just been like an hour and you're still
I know, it's
drinking
very
it.
watery now.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's something to me. I want to see business people being able to pursue the things that make them spectacular.
Yeah, but it's also more like so state by state, you can govern however you want to, right? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, in other states, you can get a liquor license for $5,000.
Sure. And Miami is the capital that people come to, like, party now.
Yeah.
Why can't
not now? This is not now. People have been partying in Miami for 40 years. This is not now.
Which is another thing that immigration. Immigration is so terrible that everybody wants to come to Miami to party.
I mean,
is there anybody in Miami really that isn't, some form of immigrant?
No, I mean, we just had
Ali Noorani.
Right.
Ali Noorani is the CEO of the National Immigration Forum. He was our most recent guest on the Michael podcast.
We talked a lot about immigration. And I mean, Miami is like the hub of like every single culture in the world.
And it makes Miami amazing. You can have any food you want from pretty much any culture in the world that you want. You can party with any type of person you want. I mean, like, this city is special. This
100%.
is part of why I love it. And I think that a large part of that is the culture, which is immigrants. We're a huge melting pot. And I'm all for immigration. I think that our immigration system is terrible. And right now, I think we're watching it happen. Now with the Canadian truckers, a lot of people are all of a sudden calling for, come on in, all these Canadian truckers. The same people who were against immigration a few weeks ago. I think that we need to actually have this conversation of, like, immigration being a good thing.
I mean, why is it a bad thing?
Oh, there's plenty of people that think immigration is a bad thing. Have you watched the news?
I mean, how long
we have libertarians that are against immigration, even though we're like free movement of people, but not you if you come from this country.
That was one of the topics that we didn't get to on the Liberated podcast, because I heard that interview that you did with, I forget what
Cliff.
I forget his name, but he had, and he seemed fine. But Mike, if you had heard, and I don't know how you feel about it, Martha, if we're thinking of the same person, when I finally heard the interview, I was like, you sound like a normal human being. Why do you have the corniest, cringiest rap theme song for your podcast of all time?
Who are we thinking about? Is this a Liberty Lock Pod or?
Yes.
Yeah, that's Cliff. Yeah.
Have you heard the theme song for that podcast? Did you listen to it? Oh my God. Talk about pena ajena, dude.
De verdad? Like that?
Bro.
No.
Man,
No.
I'm broing super hard right now.
No.
Bro, it was, I don't know if he's the one rapping, but bro, it was pretty bad, dude.
I actually think that on the Liberated podcast, you should have a hip hop track that you rap.
Should I rap on it?
To open up
this
the
is
podcast.
good. Can I tell you something? If you put
He raps every night.
If you put a gun to my head now,
wouldn't bet
I could not remember it. But in high school, my voicemail recording was me rapping about leaving me a voicemail.
Oh man, this is good.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to find that.
But I think that should be the entrance to your podcast.
I mean, you know what? I've done more embarrassing things in my life publicly, so I'm not totally opposed to this. If it brings us one more Patreon person with coffee every month,
I won't sing publicly.
No,
You won't sing, not even for the theme song for the Liberated podcast?
Ever. I won't sing publicly.
If
I
you
don't
get-
karaoke. I don't
But
know.
it would
No, I
bring
don't-
you,
I don't
But you'd
karaoke
get so
either.
many votes.
karaoke.
I'm
is a
pretty sure that if I
cesspool of
sing,
just
nobody will
things.
vote for me. Like, I personally
No, but
wouldn't
if
vote
you-
for me
I mean-
if I sang. I'm just
But if
gonna
you
say.
sang and they were like, everyone's gonna vote for you. If you sang,
That's a tough one.
I know. If you sang,
tough one.
everyone's voting
Because
for you.
the problem is nobody would vote for me if I sang. Trust me,
if
it's
you
that
sing
bad.
karaoke, I'm gonna vote for you.
How about this? Can we make a pact on this podcast right now?
Sure.
Are we going to karaoke after this?
Oh, that's even better than the pact I was.
Oh
gonna
man.
say.
Oh, boy.
No, I was gonna say because I wouldn't.
What's your karaoke
Well,
song, though?
Can I tell you I've never done karaoke,
Top
but
Gun.
but I'm open to it. Top Gun.
Yeah, the song from Top Gun.
What's the?
You
what's
lost
the
that
song?
love and feeling.
Oh yeah, okay.
Is that the song from Top Gun? You lost the loving feeling?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh, that's like the song from Top Gun.
Yeah, it is the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should know this.
Yeah, I don't.
should.
So
You
I haven't
should.
actually done.
should.
I've never actually gone and sang at a karaoke thing.
I've done it once, and I was
Yeah. Is that what
20.
you did?
I was 22.
that was-
I think I did it once, but I think I had a lot of alcohol.
Okay. So this is the pact I was going to say because I don't want to cost you. I don't want to cost you an election. I don't want karaoke.
According to the people that I talked to today, it's a thing.
So what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is if Martha.
Oh, I was
if,
told today that I wasn't going to win.
if,
how do we know? Like nothing's happened yet.
Apparently, it's a thing.
What's the over under on the percentage of the vote that you'd get?
You know what? I don't know. I don't think that anybody knows. The person who is in the seat has been in this seat since 1993. Where were you guys in 1993?
I was 8.
I was at Conchita Espinosa Academy.
You went to Conchita Espinosa?
I did.
Oh,
I
my niece
did.
went to Conchita.
I went to Cochina Asquerosa Academy.
I don't remember what I got
Ay,
kicked out of so many
no.
schools before I got
That's
to high
all-
school, so I don't remember where I was.
So
Well, I
no,
graduated in 97, so I don't... Was I in 8th grade? Something like that.
Where'd you go to high school?
Coral Park.
Coral Park.
Well,
Rams.
for the Rams.
The
for
Rams.
10th, 11th, and 12th.
How
Before
can
that,
you
I was
know
in
all of
Venezuela.
them?
Because I played against all of them, so I know 'em.
No, but I don't remember any of these.
The Rams.
The Rams, yes. I am a Ram.
What's the percentage of the vote that you have to get so that if,
Over 50%.
no,
hopefully.
not to win, but to do a Pancom podcast karaoke outing where we all go out
Oh
and we
man,
do
this
karaoke.
is good.
If
I
you
like
break
this. I like this.
I mean, I think that if like 10 people vote for me, I'm going to be like, yay. I don't know. I have no idea.
I think that you heard it here first. If 10 people vote for Martha Bueno in this
We're
race,
all doing
We're all
karaoke.
going
for
karaoke.
We're all doing karaoke on
Okay,
Tuesday
then
night.
fuck
And I
it.
got a good
It's
spot for
20,000
it.
people have to vote for me to go karaoke.
Whoa, what do you mean? You said 10. What do you mean you said 10? That's it. You
I
can't
don't want
take
to
that
karaoke.
back.
Guys, trust me. You don't want to hear me karaoke.
I want to hear you karaoke. I'll karaoke too.
You don't want to hear me karaoke?
No, you don't want to hear me karaoke.
No, I'll
I'll rap. Okay, how about that? I'll rap.
That's fine. You don't want to
Some,
hear
like,
me karaoke is the
Notorious
most incorrect thing
B.I.G.,
anybody's
like-
ever said on this podcast.
You karaoke. I'll karaoke.
I'll
Nick
karaoke.
karaoke. That's it.
Oh, no, you know he
Yeah.
karaoke's. You know
I
he's
do
like,
not.
this
I
is
don't. I
like
never
his
have.
thing, I'm
I can't
sure.
wait to cast my vote.
Oh yeah,
You can't vote for me. You don't live here.
Listen,
you
this
said
is-
that you lived in Little Havana. So.
I do.
That's fine. There's been
Vote
tougher fraud
early,
jobs.
vote
Yeah.
often.
Tougher. Yeah, tougher.
People have worked harder at voter fraud for
That's true.
much less of
I'll
a
just
reward.
walk
Ooh,
in
did
there.
you hear the news that like 100 and something people changed their registration all in like one day from Democrat to Republican? And
No, I don't know
Mayor
anything about
Daniela Levin Cava is asking for like an investigation on this.
Oh man, but I mean, come on. Look at the
It
people.
happens everywhere.
But look at the people that are moving to the state of Florida.
No, people that have been like lifelong Democrats.
I don't know.
Their
because-
voter registration all changed in like the
I mean,
matter
it's
of-
just because people look at it like, Florida's doing pretty good. Maybe that's why they wanted to change. 100,000 is a lot in one day, but
No, it was like 150, but in one like neighborhood.
that's a lot.
It is.
That's an eye opener. You would think you would
changes their-
think people that are doing fraud, they'd be like, you know what? Maybe we should spread this out. Maybe it's not all over one day. Maybe we'll do it over like 6 months. But they're like,
See,
yeah,
they're
fuck
not
it.
even
One day
like
it's
good
good
at it. That's the
Yeah.
problem with Miami. We're not even like good at our fraud. Like, are we?
I don't know.
we're
I
the
think
capital of
Miami's the
Medicare
fraud capital of the world. Like we've been
And we're
doing it for a
not
long
good at
time.
it.
Yeah, it's
We
the
get
people that are
caught.
bad at it are bad at it, and they get caught. But the ones that are good at it, they've been doing it for a long time.
You might have a point there.
Yeah, I'm
So,
just saying.
anyways, going back to it, I'm running for a seat where the person who's been in it has been in there since 1993, and the last election cycle he got 15,000 votes out of 126,000 registered voters. Only 15,000 kind of showed up. Well, more with the few hundred that the other people got, but it's not a big turnout that I'm expecting. So 20,000 should put me over that limit by a lot.
I mean, I think just with Pancon Podcast, we can really barrel over 20,000 people.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
I'm hoping so.
I think so.
This really
I don't want to say barrel over, though. That was a bad choice of words.
Why? Barrel them over.
Invite to come and cast their vote.
Yeah.
For somebody who cares
come on out.
Purpose,
Come on out. Here's some karaoke.
The old Pancon Podcast bump.
I don't know. There's people that feel it.
Kingmakers around here.
I mean, we could feed people at the polls. Then
We could.
Totally
We could feed them at the polls. We could sing them karaoke all at the same time.
No, if I sing them karaoke again, I'm pretty sure not getting them.
What if you sing karaoke with your opponent's T-shirt on? There you go.
Ooh, that's a good one.
A little deceptive.
He's my neighbor, so that
how close of a neighbor are we talking?
across the street.
Oh, wow.
We are 2 houses away.
Do you have awkward stairs?
I'd never met him until I went to Tallahassee.
You don't have awkward stairs across your
No.
porch?
We live in horse country. We don't have we have gates.
Like that? It's
No.
not like an awkward stare.
No, we have gates.
Awkward stare. Yeah, no.
I'm getting up to the microphone.
We live in horse country. There's no interacting. None
At all,
whatsoever.
huh?
At all. No, I'd never met him before. So I drove up to Tallahassee with the Libre Institute a few weeks ago, and that's when we met.
What happens in Tallahassee?
What do you mean what happens in Tallahassee?
What
It's
happens
the capital.
there? I know, I get it's a capital, but I don't know,
legislation happens there. All the backroom deals happen there too.
Yeah, no.
Lots of backroom deals.
Is the did you say the Libre Institute?
Yes.
Is Janicet Rivero involved?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
I don't work with them.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
I mean,
What, you just rode with them?
they invited me to come up. Sure. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It was great. Actually, I had a
Do
great
you
time.
fuck with the Libre Institute?
I don't know. I don't know who this is. Who are these people?
They're an organization that pushes through legislation that is in line a lot with what I believe in, which is freedom. I believe in the minimal government and most freedom. So they are in line with that. And they said, hey, would you like to come to Tallahassee and talk to your elected representatives and talk to them about the issues that matter? And I said, absolutely. I'd love to.
So on the ballot, what are you?
What do you mean?
What party?
There it is.
I am currently NPA, not affiliated with any party.
Right.
I don't. Before that, I was the vice chair of the Libertarian Party of Miami-Dade for 4 years. So obviously my views are very libertarian, which is to say
Hence
that
why you were on the Liberated podcast by Nicholas Jiménez.
absolutely. That's why I was his first and best guest.
Oh, you are easily the best guest I ever had on my podcast.
And the only one.
Can I tell you, I've thought about this long and hard. And
Did you?
I never had a better guest on that podcast.
And hard.
Oh, don't you do it. Don't you do it. I do it as soon as I do it.
Oh, boy.
On the first episode of the Liberated podcast, Nicholas Jiménez thinks long and hard. I love that. That's so good.
Martha with her one empty cocktail. The two of us are like...
So
Trust me, this cocktail counts for like 4, I'm telling you. I am a very, 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 very lightweight.
all right, let's go. Let's cap this bitch off. Let's do this. Let's do this thing. I feel like we've
been going around in circles this whole time.
Yeah.
We should probably just start all over again.
Oh man, this is what happens down here. This is why I don't ever want to do podcasts down here.
People we should do it here more.
No, get out of here.
Yeah, when we recorded here with John
people get
Falco.
cagey and they get like real wild.
No,
Look at
John-
Petey. Look
yeah,
at
look at
Petey.
Petey's
Look at
going-
Petey.
Petey's losing his mind
He's
over there.
fucking out of his mind today. Look at him. He's like, I hate it here.
So you ready for the wind down? Is that what we're doing?
I don't know about the wind down. I think we need to have like at least one conversation about one thing that we haven't talked about yet.
So
Ooh, Bitcoin.
Okay.
Yeah,
I actually I don't know how, like, if you have thoughts about this.
I don't have a ton of thoughts about Bitcoin. I deal with like money.
How do you feel about the GoFundMe shutting down the Canadian truckers?
Oh man, I mean, I feel like those Canadian truckers got a lot of legs to stand on. I don't really know why anyone would shut any of what they're doing down.
So again, it goes back to government deciding that they don't deserve the money that people had been giving to them.
Listen, they were outlawed of honking for 10 days. They were told that they couldn't honk their horns. I mean, Canada is like everyone says that Florida's the Wild West. I viscerally disagree with that, because when you tell me I can't honk, I mean, fuck. Here,
I'm gonna go honk.
Yeah, I'm gonna honk.
Honk.
I'm
Yep.
gonna honk as much as I can. It's like, what do you mean I can't honk? I mean, they're protesting.
Who's
they're doing their
saying they
thing.
can't honk? This is the problem I have. Like,
Yo,
you're an
Fidel's
adult.
son. Fidel's son told him
You
that
are
they
an
can't
adult.
honk.
The vehicle that you were honking the horn belongs to you or your employer, or whatever the case may be. The roads, sure, they might be paved with government money, but really, like, why? Why are you being banned from honking?
Government
or
money
rece-
is still your money.
It is your money. The government produces absolutely nothing. Everything that they build stuff with, pave stuff with, is our money, of course. But they still feel the ability to tell you what you can and can't do.
It's
And
a whole. I mean, but I gotta say, like, what happens over there, like, that's their shit. I don't understand it. Like, they're protesting. They should be free to protest.
Could it happen here is a question.
Being told that you can't honk, it definitely can't happen in Miami. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, no,
I don't know if you ever driven in the roads of Miami. I mean, you honk for like it turned green 5 seconds ago. You're getting honked at. Like, for fuck's sake, man. Like, just take it easy. Like, it's not a thing here. I want to know if they actually like pulled over people that were honking for like just like their daily ride to like work.
Can I tell you? So I went to school in Columbia, Missouri.
Yeah.
And one of my best friends, David, was up there visiting me. This was my...
Where is David now?
David, at this very moment, is probably at his home with his three little girls. He works at a roof tile company.
Good for him.
It's his dad's roof tile company. He's so I don't know why we're getting into David's story now, but David visited me when I was in Missouri. And I remember I was driving around with him in the passenger seat, and somebody did some dumb shit in front of me in traffic. And David like reaches over and honks my horn for me, and I was so embarrassed because I stopped him, and I realized, like, oh my god, like, this place has pushed the Miami out of me.
Yeah.
Because I stopped him, and I was like, they don't do that here.
Yeah. Stop. Stop.
They don't honk here over trivial things. That somebody needs to be dying.
David,
for
stop
honking.
it.
David, don't you honk?
Don't honk anymore.
And it was
So you're saying it's a Latin thing that we honk?
I don't know if it's a Latin thing.
I don't agree with that.
It's I think it's
I've been in other places and they honk.
it's a city thing. I think,
Yeah.
I think it's in the polite Midwest, honking is like flipping the bird.
Is it?
Is it? Really?
Yeah.
So when
Like-
you flip the bird, what is that like?
That's like
like the next level,
like
right?
slapping your mom.
Oof.
I slapped your mom.
Ay, imagínate.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. The trucker thing in Canada is pretty crazy to me.
To me, the crazy thing is, you give money to this organization, a GoFundMe, and they're like, you know what? We've decided that we're just not going to give you this money that people donated to you because, well, it just doesn't go with us politically.
Oh, and I don't remember en qué quedó, but it initially, maybe they still are following through with this, but it wasn't just we're not gonna complete the transaction. It was we're gonna take that money and rather
And give
than
it to
refund
other people.
Right.
But now they're going to refund it to everybody. It was just an automatic refund. They're just
Which-
giving everybody's money back, which is okay.
To the
You know
ex-
what?
yeah.
I agree with that. Fine. We came to an impasse. Just return the money to people and let them donate it another way, which is where Bitcoin would come in or any other crypto. Donate in crypto.
Right.
But the reason I was bringing up crypto is because we have the Bitcoin conference coming up in April, and there is a legit commie coming
There's a communist coming to this.
to the Bitcoin conference. Yeah.
Who's this communist?
His name is Eric Jose Garcia Cruz, and he is the CEO of Cuva Pay, QVA Pay.
Cuba Pay. That sounds
Guape.
Cuva Pay, but it's
sounds-
QVA Pay.
dreadful. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds terrible.
It means that he belongs to the Castro regime.
Oh, does he?
And he, I'm sure amongst others, created this platform where you can send remittances to Cuba in Bitcoin, and the Cuban government will keep said Bitcoin and give you this worthless currency called MLC, Moneda Libremente Convertida. And he has been invited to the stage in Bitcoin at the Bitcoin conference
By who?
by the Bitcoin conference.
Yeah, the organizers of the thing.
Yeah. So I immediately reached out to them. So that's been 2 weeks now, and we spoke. They are aware, and they haven't said anything publicly. He's still invited. In Miami, we're bringing a legit commie to Miami. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I think you need to take that up with what's his name? What's that guy's name?
Francis?
That guy, Francis.
So I did send Francis a message, and I have not heard back from him. But I think it's going to be interesting because, you know
Shocker.
what? In Miami, if you do fraternize with the enemy, and I think here we can all pretty much agree that communists are the enemy. We are, at least if you're Cuban, you're here because, well, the regime. And so your entire life has been upended by this regime, right? Moving to another country and whatever. I don't think that Francis really is going to have a political future if he gets on the stage with a commie going there. I think this is going to be a big deal, and I don't think that people understand the big deal that it's going to be.
Is he scheduled to share the stage with him, or he just
No, he's going to be at the same conference. So Mayor Suarez, let me call him by what he is, respectfully. He is scheduled, I believe, to open the conference as he did last year every single day. Yeah. So he will be at the conference. His name is all over it. It's, it's in, I guess now it's in Miami Beach. So it's not in his city, but he is a big part of why Bitcoin is in Miami. And I am surprised that he is not on the forefront speaking about this. I'm surprised that little old me is the one that's bringing it up, because I hear it all the time from people both in Cuba and here that are Cuban, and nobody else is really talking about it. And I'm shocked. And I think the Bitcoin conference is going to be shocked if they don't do something about it. I think they're going to be really shocked when they realize how many Cubans are like, hell no.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me.
This is like the, what's that place called? Cafe Habana?
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
Of Bitcoin.
It is.
It doesn't surprise me that a Francis Suarez wouldn't be louder about it. I wouldn't say that.
Shots fired.
Well, no, I mean, listen, I think, we were talking earlier about, like, there are political realities, right? And I can understand how it's not the choice I would make, but maybe that's why I'm not the mayor of Miami.
There's no way he can get out of this well.
Well,
there really isn't.
I disagree, though. Like,
if he shows up to that conference with him there, do you think that really? I mean, who votes for Francis Suarez? I get it's a large portion are Cubans.
Yeah, but honestly, I think that I will say I think that for him to say, you know what, I opened the conference and the conference had a wide array of people. I wasn't in charge of programming the conference, and the benefits of having all these cryptocurrency things in Miami outweigh this one communist.
But he has a voice.
No, of course he does.
He's very close to the conference, so he could say, hey, guys.
No,
I don't think that this is the appropriate measure to take, and I think that's what the angle I'm looking at.
I'm not suggesting that he's handling it the best way or that it won't cost him any votes, but I don't think that in the grand scheme of, because remember, this is also like in Miami politics, and especially in city of Miami politics. If you're banking on the Cuban vote, you're banking on the comedor vote of people who have no idea.
Bro, did you bring? Hold on. Did you bring empanadas? Did you really bring empanadas? This is crazy. No, I don't believe you.
I don't know what's going on here.
This fucking guy.
I don't want to be on camera.
No, you don't want to be on camera. Come on, get out. Get behind your shirt up. Come on, man.
Be on camera. Yes, you can. I don't even know who this guy is, but I want him on camera.
What do you mean? Come on, get over here.
Well, it's fine. I'll take it
Pull up a chair. He made camarón enchilado empanada.
Are you? There's camarón enchilado empanada right now?
And they're done? Like they're...
Michael Beltrán, can you explain what's going on to the people who are watching and listening here? What is this?
And for the guests.
Wow, you made so many too. This is crazy. Oh man, that's
what's going on here. Beatty, don't you leave.
What?
I have no idea.
So I was sitting at Taurus the other day.
Wait, I gotta get her one. She's pescatarian.
Yeah, no, she's vegetarian, pescatarian on sometimes.
This one made with a lot of love.
Yeah.
But the other one's not?
Oh, the other ones aren't made with love? No, I'm going to go fuck myself now, right?
Is it good?
Can you tell? No, come here. No, fuck off. Come here.
Do it.
Get out of here. Do it. Come on, man. Tell the people what's happening. So the other day, I was having drinks with my cousin, and he was
your cousin?
No,
I don't know.
Deandra Fernandez is my cousin.
Okay.
But pull up a chair. Come over here.
Pull up a chair. No, you have to get it. Nick, give him the mic. Give him the mic.
I'm good.
No, fuck off, man. Get on the fucking microphone.
Get on the end of the table.
Yeah, come on. So he was telling me I make these camarón enchilado empanadas, and they're fucking delicious. And I said, man, that sounds amazing. I want to try these. So today, what was it today? You sent me a text?
Yeah.
He sent me a text, and I was like, yeah, bro, that's all good, but I still haven't tried these empanadas yet. I still don't know what you're talking about.
I got put on the spot. I said, what did I say? Don't doubt the kid. And I whipped up camarón enchilada empanadas in 40 minutes. That's including the stop at Publix.
That's pretty impressive.
That is really impressive.
Hold on. This is the Queen of Kendall. So,
Wait. Why are we putting it on the table?
So you could
Why
try
are you
it.
handing it to me on the table?
So you try it. Come on, bro. It's
I am
empanadas. Don't act like
I am like very.
don't act like it's. Just eat the empanada.
Eat
It's
the
fine.
damn empanada. All right.
Wow, they're still hot. Mm-hmm. Like
I
you
have
just.
an air fryer in the car. You think
Oh
you
my
think I'm
God.
playing? I'll take a picture of it.
Yeah, so he sent me a picture. I don't know, because I'm obviously not on my phone. So I saw the picture. I was
Oh
like,
my
oh,
God,
this
that's
guy's
so
really
good.
making empanadas. I thought you were going to bring him like tomorrow.
No.
Oh my God, this is so good.
You like it?
Yes.
So I challenged him in saying that I still haven't tried these. And apparently you just went home and you made them.
Of course, man. Made them on the fly.
Can you tell the people what
You need to try
exactly I'm getting there. What exactly we're eating?
So camarón enchilado is a very famous Cuban dish.
There we go.
They usually put it on a bed of rice. I was growing up on this type of food, and arroz con huevo frito and arroz con salchicha. And this was we used to always eat at my grandparents' house. And my grandfather basically supported all of us when we were kids, and my parents too. So when we would eat camarón enchilado on top of arroz, we knew he had a good week. When we were eating arroz con salchicha, we knew that things were a little
rougher, right?
little rough. So imagine this is something that I thought of doing in an empanada, and I paid homage to my grandmother, and now every time I go to like friends' houses and stuff, they ask me to make them. So
That's amazing. I thank you so much for actually making these.
course,
I was
man.
just fucking with you, man. I
No,
didn't
man,
think you were actually
anytime,
going to make
anytime.
them.
I mean, I honestly I was craving them since our last conversation, so I had two on the way over here, but we're short too.
This is a man.
but-
This is a man who had dinner at Ariete tonight.
Yeah.
I love that. I
Of
love
course,
that.
man. Support the cause. Support, man.
Man, I didn't think you were actually going to pull through here.
Come on, man. You told me you were leaving this weekend. I'm gonna be out next week, so I was like, you know what? Let me be a man of my word, right? You kind of gave me shit about it.
I
today.
did. No, I mean, that's
Thank you
what
for
I.
giving him shit.
That's what I do.
These are so good.
That's what I
course,
do.
of course.
I
Like,
get,
oh
I
my
get people
God.
shit. It's part of my job.
I thought we were gonna eat them
Right?
upstairs, so I was like, oh, there's gotta be line behind the bar, right?
Yeah, no.
So
No, I mean, I just put you on the spot. I love that. I love that. How do you feel about a communist at a Bitcoin conference?
a what?
A communist at a Bitcoin conference.
I mean, we're Cuban, man. The word communism to us doesn't sit well.
I love that. So,
A man after my own
You
heart.
haven't seen
There
my
you go.
shirt, man.
yeah, I know. Hi, Leo. We made it. We made it.
We did. Aguafango y Factoría. So
¿Qué?
we got a Aguafango y Factoría. Oh,
Patra.
man, all day. All day.
This is so
You
good.
like it?
Oh my God.
So I'm Danny, by the way.
I just dropped a
That's
camarón
okay.
in my hand.
Chef
so
Danny, ¿cómo está?
Not a chef at all.
This is the most epic interruption of Punk Podcast ever, and I love it. I love
I'm
it.
sorry, Petey. I don't have any for you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat it all.
Peter, you can
I'll
have
let
this.
you guys do your thing.
No, take this
No,
upstairs
please.
to everyone else, yeah?
All right.
No.
Ay, coño.
Hold on.
I need water. So you see, another fellow Cuban that does not like communists in Miami.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this shamelessness.
Look at him.
Peter, you
I'm
have
guessing
no
you don't even
total sinvergüenza.
You don't even like shrimp, do you?
Oh, man. How do you know what he likes?
I don't think Petey knows what he likes.
No, I mean, Peter knows.
Okay, please drop it.
That's so good. So
where
man,
were
that
we?
was incredible.
This is the perfect place to stop.
So good. So,
Oh, man.
ready for the wind down?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so the way that we wind down the podcast is we always end with two sections here. One is parting recommendations. So everybody recommends a thing that our listeners and viewers. It could be a book, a dish you had, a drink, a movie, a TV show, a pod, anything at all that you want to recommend to people. You can do as many of those as you want.
All right, so this drink was really good. So what was this, Mr. Yellow?
Mr. Yellow.
Yeah.
So
Ariette's Mr. Yellow.
I'll take
Ariette's Mr. Yellow. Yeah, it was really good. I like fruity drinks. That was definitely fruity.
Very good.
Podcast. I did a podcast yesterday with Zuby.
With
Have
Zuby, the ad firm.
Huh?
Oh no, Zuby
rapper.
Zuby the rapper. Sorry, I was thinking
Yeah.
Zuby advertising.
So, whatever. I'm going to plug myself. go check out my
Oh,
podcast.
no. Sorry, you can't do that. Save that for the next thing, which is shameless plugs. So parting recommendations, just things you'd recommend, and then shameless plugs after.
All right, this empanada.
Danny Jordan's empanada. I love that.
It is
Like,
good.
seriously.
He just
You
texted
know
he's
what?
coming back down here, and I love that.
You know what? My mom makes like, I thought like a really good enchilada de camarones.
Yeah.
But she had never made it an empanada for me. I feel gypped.
You know what's
Well,
crazy?
I mean,
I make that all the time, and I've never thought to put it in an empanada.
I make it too.
I would say that's why I was so intrigued when he said that. I was like, that makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Like, this
super,
is such a
I'm
good
super
thing.
game to try that. I can critique him and how to make it better, but I won't.
I'm sure.
Really?
I won't. Yeah.
How would you make this better?
I mean, you just have to make it a little more. Just chop it up and make it a little more like one thing, but it's still very good.
I don't know if I'm.
I
I
don't
don't know if
know.
I'm on board with you.
Yeah, I know, but it's efficiency and things that make
No,
sense.
no. This
You're
is
saying from a
perfect.
business perspective.
No, I mean from an edible perspective, right? Like you eat
Oh.
it, if it's a little more like uniform, it just won't fall all over the place, which is good.
I like the falling.
Yeah,
I like the mess.
that's good.
This is like mom's cooking.
This is yours.
No, we're having half and half. right?
Are we?
Are we?
You eat half and then I'll take the other half.
No, just break it.
No, you do it. You do it. Listen, I don't mess with government.
Here.
Right? So that's all you. Don't mess with the government. He's back.
They already said it. You
What?
gotta add it to the Ariete menu.
I got.
I'm gonna second that.
Ariete. Hey,
there it
Ariete.
is. There it is. There it is. That's
I'm
good.
gonna second that. This is really good.
Go ahead. Come
Please, just break it in half.
Is that's course
Let's
7?
50
on. You have a seat on the commission, Madam Commissioner. Can you please?
I'm not there yet.
Madam Commissioner.
Can
Not
you
there
please,
yet.
Can you please eat Danny's
Here,
empanada, please?
I'm gonna break it in half. We're sharing this.
Oh man, I feel like this is gonna be a disaster. That's why
It's
I said
prob-
just eat, just take bites out of it, and then I'll take the rest.
Really?
Yeah.
That's disgusting. But okay.
I mean,
So gross.
yeah. Weirdo.
We did that with a sandwich earlier.
Yeah, we did do it with a sandwich earlier.
I'll eat it.
Okay, so you've recommended the empanada. You recommended I forget what else.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, you get the Mr. Yellow. Mike, parting recommendations.
So I have a lot of parting recommendations.
A lot, huh?
Yeah, just all about. Okay, Petey, what are you doing here? Come on.
Petey's out of control.
I'll let him, go through his
Petey,
recommendations
Petey,
while I eat.
hey.
My
So-
recommendation.
Hey, come here.
Look at that.
He's just so cute, though.
I know. We're
Who's
talking about the
begging
dog.
for this
Are you talking about
empanada?
Nick or the dog?
Both, they're adorable.
Oh, adorable.
Oh, Petey, don't you fucking do it.
He's gonna do it again. He's did it again.
Don't you
So,
fucking do it.
I'm gonna recommend 3 bands.
Okay, great.
Bad, Not Good.
Bad, not good.
That's the name of the band.
Great.
It's very good. They have like 3 tracks I very much enjoy. And then I'm going to recommend 2 covers. They're both Sade covers. One by, I'm going to totally butcher this name, Kalila, right? She did a cover of Sade, and the No Ordinary Love cover by the Deftones that was from 2005. I've listened to it at least 20 times this week, and it's fucking amazing.
Great.
Those are my party recommendations.
Cool.
Yep.
I like mine more.
I mean, listen, that sounds like a super government thing to say, and it's okay if you like your ideas more than mine.
Yeah.
This is just so good.
It is. It was good.
Thank
It was
you.
good. I mean, it might be the best thing that gets recommended today. I'm gonna stick with the song theme here. I was listening to this while I was setting up this podcast situation earlier. I'm recommending Pepe Montes y su conjunto, specifically the song Cafecito.
Pero qué gana yo tengo de tomar un cafecito. Yo le digo a mi pupusa, me lo cuela rapidito. Un cafecito, rico y calientito. Yeah, yeah.
So if you're into Cuban music and you like singing about cafecito, that's the move.
And then you show up and the cafecito isn't really there.
And then you show up in the cafecito. I mean, it depends on where you are. Some places you might show up and the cafecito really is there. You know, there's always cafecito.
Not at your house, though.
Oh, I see what you did. See, you caught me like into Scotch number. So I don't know if I told you this, but in advance of
He invites me over for coffee.
for the Liberated
For coffee.
podcast, when we were recording the podcast, I told her, "Oh yeah, there's gonna be
This is
coffee
like the
here,
typical
so don't
girl
worry
thing.
about
Like
it,
you
okay?"
invite them over for like a movie and there's no movie.
I know.
Have you
I'm
ever
the
had
worst.
Nick's? Have you ever had Nick's coffee?
No.
You're better.
No,
off.
and
You're
if-
better
Oh,
off.
fuck
You're
you.
better off. You're better off.
Fuck
You're
you.
fine. You're fine. You're totally good.
No. Listen, the thing is that you're a coffee snob and you want it without sugar. You want it without sugar in a from a stovetop. You want me to make you café bustelo from a stovetop coffee maker without sugar and have it not taste like shit?
Is that possible?
It's gonna taste like.
Apparently not.
It's gonna taste not so great.
I mean, he's not wrong.
That's what I'm saying.
He's
but
not wrong. He's not wrong.
But in terms of the coffee that every Cuban household outside of this stretch of Coconut Grove makes, my coffee is pretty decent.
You're right. Your coffee's great.
It is. I actually have
Sugar,
gotten.
huh?
You have another parting recommendation there, the Liberated?
Yeah, man. I recommend you fuck yourself.
All right, shameless plugs.
Shameless plugs. Martha, we'll let you start.
Shameless plug.
Plug all
Please
your stuff.
vote for me.
Yeah.
That's really the shameless plug that
We're
I'm
gonna.
go with.
I can't wait to fucking vote for you so we could do karaoke just like on the
Vote
fucking
for
street.
me so hard. Yeah, that's
Vote for me so hard. That should be a shirt. That's the 150th shirt that
Can we
we've
can we
created.
get your assistant to make that jacket?
Yeah, can we?
Isn't that not a great
There you go.
I know, but it needs to say "Vote for me so hard."
That's what it needs to say.
I mean, Yotuel signed my jacket, so there's that.
Oh, that's.
I
I,
mean,
I
yeah.
saw that picture. That's pretty cool.
I mean, that was like my Cuban moment right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
anyway,
mean, I will
for me
personally
so hard.
sign your jacket that says "Vote for me so hard."
Yeah.
All right. Well, Alex, she's gonna have to get on that.
Mm.
Or if she can make a jacket that has like a portrait of Petey the dog covering your whole back, I'll have
Eating an empanada.
Petey the dog eating an empanada de camarón enchilado.
Right.
There
right.
you go. We didn't give any to Petey. Poor Petey.
So that's
can't
that
eat that
shameless.
stuff.
That's that set of shameless plugs. Michael Beltrán.
All the
shameless
things.
plugs, all the things. This is where
Insert
we play.
song.
Insert Sade. All the things by DJ Noah.
All the things. I still gotta recommend all my shit. I mean, we've done this 80 times already.
All the things.
All the things.
All the things.
Yeah, all the things.
All the things. All the things. All the things.
All the things.
And finally, you can find Pan Con Podcast on all of the social media things at Pan Con Podcast, PANCON Podcast, not Panko Podcast, not Pumpkin Podcast, not Pinko Podcast, not any of those things. Pan Con Podcast. And if you want to support the things that we're doing around here, you want to go to Patreon, patreon.com/DadeMag, DADEMAG, where you can give us
All your money.
all of your money.
All
you can
of your
give us
money.
$1 a month and get very little in return other than some exclusive content like the lightning round we'll do in a second.
Right. Lightning round's coming.
That's right. Or if you give us as much as, say, I don't know, $15 a month.
$50.
No, 1.5.
Oh, my bad.
1.5 gets you a bag of whole bean Abuela Mami coffee
Man,
every
that-
month.
That is good coffee. If only you made coffee with that coffee, you'd be
every
better
month
off.
in the mail. Well, listen, take it up with Kiki. The last time I made Abuela Mami coffee, it was because I got some for free from Kiki. Or tell your friends to do $1 a month, and then I can afford to buy his $13 a bag coffee.
I'll do it.
You know,
I'll do it.
Yeah, we'll tell all the Ariete people. You know,
Yeah, I'll get on it.
Great, sounds good. So those are the shameless plugs, and now.
Thank you so much for being on this podcast. We always forget to do this part because we're going to go into the lightning round. Thank you so much. I know you have more important people to talk to.
Ooh, ouch.
I
Was that like a
It's a dig at us.
ow?
It's a dig at us,
mean,
not
it
at
is,
you.
it is definitely a dig at us. It's not a dig at you, but I thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having me on.
Thank you.
Again, Nick. Thank you.
Listen, there's too many podcasts happening. I'm
We're such busy people.
so busy with all this bad coffee.
Well, she didn't even get any coffee. She doesn't know how bad your coffee is.
Not only did she not get coffee, I invited her to my house
For
studio
coffee.
to
studio. He told you he had a studio?
No, I didn't tell her I had a studio. I told her I
man,
recorded
that's
it.
so good.
No, I said I recorded it in my living room.
I'm sure there's stories.
In
Oh,
my-
no.
This is
Come
how-
see
this
my
is-
studio.
No,
Come see my
there are
And I
studio.
will make you
Stories.
coffee.
Yeah.
There are no stories.
Wow.
My assistant got a Starbucks.
No,
She did? Oh, man.
Yes. That's what happened.
You got Starbucks?
My guest bought
yes.
the coffee.
Wow.
I know.
On your first podcast.
I know. It was a disaster.
What a disaster.
And with that, welcome to the
You're an
lightning
angel.
round.
Yeah, you're an angel.